swing set! That's the swing set! No, 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 that's the swing set from the swing! That's the swing set from the... Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the author, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about Not What He Seems, the brand new Gravity Falls episode that just premiered tonight, March 9th. It's actually March 10th now because I'm just now seeing this episode after I had a plane, and it was a bunch of mess and delayed flights, but I watched it, and it was amazing. I don't know, it's up there with Society of the Blind Eye, mainly because of all of the stuff that was confirmed, but I think this, so far, theory heavy, my favorite episode ever. Also, one of my favorite episodes ever simply because of how it was delivered. I think it was the best 30-minute session of animation I have ever witnessed. It was brilliantly done, it was beautiful, and even the ending was amazing. It was very much like the season finale, if you remember, of season, I believe, 1 it was. Well, we haven't seen the season finale of season 2, so yeah, season 1. When they just kind of ended it, and it was like quiet, and it just made you go like, bruh, what the hell just happened? So, brilliant episode, amazing, well executed, and now I'm just going to go over all of the codes, theories, and basically any interesting stuff that I noticed in this episode. There isn't a lot, actually, now there is a lot, but it's not, there's individual things, but a lot of it is just very detail oriented. There's only like a few things, but all of them have very specific details. So that's what I'm going to be going over in this video. Stay tuned, and let's get right into it. Alright, everybody, so first off, we have this first code here, which is the ending code. Now, I'm starting at the end simply to get these codes out of the way. I will discuss these images after I've said what the codes are. This part is simply to just get the codes out of the way. So, at the very bottom, you can see that text right there, which translates to the original Mystery Twins, which obviously refers to Stan and his brother, who is revealed to be actually a confirmed entity in the show at the very end of this episode. So they are the original Mystery Twins, obviously saying that they're the twins such as Dipper and Mabel. They are twins as well, the Mystery Twins. So there you go. That's what that code means. Now on to the book page. All right, so now we have this picture right here. Now, this was flashed at the very end of the episode, as a similar picture has been flashed at the end of every single episode of season 2. Now, this is another book page showing the portal, obviously, is what that triangle is. Now, this actually is a very interesting translation cipher right here. It translates to 30 years and now he's back. The mystery in the Mystery Shack. Now, interestingly enough, 30 years is the exact time frame if you look at when this episode supposedly takes place in the timeline of Gravity Falls. First of all, summer of 2012. That is when this episode takes place. But secondly, at the very beginning of the episode, you see the twins and Grunkle Stan shooting off fireworks, hinting at July 4th. Fireworks. It's the middle of the summer right now. Gravity Falls, the summer's halfway over. It's about, that's when the timeline is supposedly about now. Now, 30 years ago would have been July 4th, 1982. Now, if you see the calendar that is on the wall in the episode of Carpet Diem, on that calendar, you see July 4th, 1982 is circled right next to the glasses that we have assumed for a long time that Stanley's brother or twin wore. So it's very interesting that we see 30 years, now he's back, obviously hinting at that calendar, hinting at everything that's happened, just really a lot of continuity, which is amazing. This show has so much of it, and that's just the two codes at the beginning. Now to get into some discussion about actually what happened in this episode and what we can expect in the future, just because so much happened. Now moving on to actually what happened in this episode, or rather what was conveyed to us that's, initially important to the plot. Really most of the interesting stuff happens closer to the end of the episode. Granted, some interesting stuff happens at the beginning, some stuff happens in the middle, but a lot of the big stuff happens in the end. Now, as far as the beginning stuff goes, most of it happens within Stan's study, except, at the very beginning we do see Stan in his bunker, going through. Pretty much we see that the machine is about ready. Now, when moving on to when the twins are trying to prove Stan innocent, we do see them go into his study and look through his possessions. First of all, we do see them looking through the security footage. finding out that Stan actually did take the waste, the toxic waste from the facility, proving he's not innocent. That raises their suspicions. They look through his desk. They find a lot of fake IDs. They wonder, why would Stan need fake IDs? That's when they find his this newspaper clipping that shows Stan died. Stan Pines is dead. Now, what exactly does this mean? Well, if Stan is dead, obviously Stan's not dead. Does that mean that is the name of his brother? Is his brother's name Stan? Well, that's something that we don't know. Do we know maybe Stan covered up his death? Maybe Stanford Pines, Stan Lee Pines, that whole difference. Obviously, there, as was suggested, there was foul play in the death. Was that death a way to cover up the death of Stan's brother? Obviously, that was clearly what it was. But how exactly that's basically why Stan needed the fakes. That's why he needed that, because he was dead. He faked his own death, or he faked his brother's death. Either way, foul play in that. That's why he's not what he seems. He was not being truthful with the twins. That leads Dipper to be angry, furthering, his point that Stan is just not a trustworthy guy. Dipper has lost trust in Stan. Mabel's still a bit optimistic, but it's very difficult to see any sort of optimism coming from either one of them. Now, one little tidbit that was in this episode, this part of the episode, was this book. Now, as you look at the books on his shelf, you do see a couple of different books, How to Ruin Jokes, all of that, but you do see this one, Glass Shard Beach High Yearbook. Now, obviously that's a yearbook, but the Glass Shard Beach. At the very end of the episode, we see the two twins sitting on a swing set on the beach. That, I'm theorizing, as I've seen already theorized on every single theory site ever, is that is the original home of Stan and his brother and his family and all of that. That is where he was raised, and that is where he went to high school, obviously, so that's where that yearbook has come from, furthering, hey, that's where he used to live, Glass Shard Beach. Now moving on to Stanley, or Stanley A, or whatever you want to call him now, the twin, the brother, the one who wrote the journals. We now know who wrote the journals. It was Stanley's brother. This has been something that we have been, that a lot of people have been theorizing for a long time. But furthermore, we do know he has 6 fingers. That's one of the more important things about him. We see that initially, that the animators make a very big point of showcasing that. When you look inside his coat pocket, you can see a feather and a pen. Now that's with whatever you want to do with that. That's just something I noticed. And then here's a close-up of his face. You do see the glasses, confirming that those are his glasses. He does wear different glasses than Stanley, and that was an original theory that's actually now been confirmed. I'd just like to say real quick, that's awesome. I have this is the first time that I've ever been a part of a show where a theory has been theorized by the community, has been sought out, nothing's confirmed it, and it's gone on for pretty much a year plus, and then boom, there it is, it's been confirmed. So there that is. We do know who wrote the journals, we do know that it's Stan's brother, and we do know that he has been trapped in that portal for a long time. Now, on a journal page where we originally looked at the portal, we do know that McGucket, Stanley, and his brother were actually, that somebody got sucked into the portal. He's stuck there, and it's clear now that Stan has been trying to get him back this whole time. He's been trying to get back his brother. I find it very interesting that when Mabel trusts Stan at the very end of that episode, that very good moment in the show where Mabel just relinquishes all ability to stop everything and just straight out trusts him. It's interesting because Mabel and Dipper have a relationship where Dipper and Mabel they get along very well, but Stan went through everything to get his brother back. He built this portal, he stole waste, and Stan points out that the twins get along much better than siblings should. Now, at the same time, Stan has his sibling. Did they get along? Well, with that broken swing set, we can see that there's been some sort of not happiness between the two of them, some sort of fight that broke out, but that swing set definitely symbolizes loss, or at the very least a fight between the two, because the swing set, they're next to each other, and now that swing set is broken. That is not just a broken swing set, that is a symbol of the two of them fighting, breaking up. Something went on and something happened with them. Now there is a lot more that has actually been released, that has happened in this episode, but I'm going to save you the trouble and just get to the bottom line. Basically, this episode hypes everything. It makes it so that we know that there is a brother. We know that Stanley has a brother. We know he wrote the journals, and we know that that happened. But what we don't know yet is what's going to happen next. The apocalypse is actually upon us, based on what McGucket is saying, and McGucket might be insane, but he does have a point in that countdown is definitely happening, and that portal had the potential to end the universe. Now, did it? Maybe not, but it still probably has the potential. The portal is not completely gone. Now, where was Stanley this entire time? That's my second point. Where has Stanley been that entire time? Was he in some sort of alternate reality? Was he in some sort of other dimension? We do not know. But we do know that we have two characters that are not present in this episode that are surely going to be present very soon. Gideon and Bill. Where was Bill this whole episode? Where was Gideon this whole episode? I've seen it theorized that Bill has been here the whole time. He's been he's been possessing Dipper. I have looked into this myself, and I can see how that could have happened. How it looked like Dipper at the end of the last episode was kind of putting his hands on his hips in a similar way that Bill did when he possessed him. But I do not think that is the case. I think that Bill has something to do with this portal itself, and is not actually Dipper. It doesn't seem to add up to me, but we shall see. Now, unfortunately, this is the last episode. It appears to be for a while. We do not know when the next episode is coming out. We do not know what it's called. We don't know anything about that. So it looks as though we are on another minor hiatus, and right after this bombshell of an episode. So hopefully we'll learn more information. Of course, I will be bringing that to you as I gain that information, but for the time being, it looks like this is the last episode for a while. Yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've enjoyed my analysis. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I will be sure to answer them. If I missed anything, leave it below. I will definitely comment on that, my opinions, and basically just anything you have to do with this episode, because this episode, not only did it showcase the amazing talents of the Gravity Falls team, but it also had a lot of information as to what we can expect in the future. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!
Everything is different now.